Planned Parenthood is being singled out here by extremists looking to score political points, and I cannot understand why some in Congress have made it their priority to deny so many women access to basic health care services and family planning. The family planning services at Planned Parenthood provides indispensable and services. I don't know how we would get by without Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood provides health care services for countless communities across Minnesota. For many low-income women and families, the preventive care provided by Planned Parenthood clinics is their only access to preventive screenings and reproductive health services. The 24 Planned Parenthood centers in Minnesota provide more than 61,000 patients with health care and family planning services, including cancer screenings, vaccinations, cholesterol, and diabetes screenings. And in fact, 6 of 10 patients who receive care at women's health centers like Planned Parenthood consider it their primary source of care, 6 out of 10. And for many, this care is life-saving. That's why we're going to hear from Liz Steele, who's in town from Minneapolis. She is here today to talk to you about how a visit to a Planned Parenthood clinic in Minneapolis saved her life. Liz?
Hi, as Senator Franken said, my name is Elizabeth Steele. My senator calls me Liz because he's my senator. I can honestly say that I'm standing here today because of Planned Parenthood. When I went to college in, thank you, at the University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire, I had no insurance, and Planned Parenthood was my main source of quality health care. I came to trust them and rely on what the help they gave me. I moved to Denver shortly after I graduated from college. I got a great job in my 20s, enjoying life, but my job didn't offer me insurance right at that point. But I knew that I still had Planned Parenthood there, and I continued to use them as my trusted health care provider. On one Monday, I had an appointment to just a regular checkup at Planned Parenthood, and the nurse practitioner took my blood sample, put it in the blood spinner, and she said, "I don't think this spinner works because I can't read your blood." So she said, "I'm going to take it out of your arm, send it to a lab. I will call you tomorrow with the results." She called me the next day, and she said, "You need to come in and pick up your report and go see an internist." And I said, "Sure." And I picked up the report maybe that night or the day later. I wasn't worried. And she continued to call me every day until Friday, and several times a day, escalated. I think Friday she called me 5 or 6 times. And so I thought, well, you know, her heart's there. So I made a copy of the report, and I gave it to my friend, Dr. Ben. He called me later that night, and he said, "Liz, I'm coming to pick you up and take you to the hospital." He did. I ended up not leaving that hospital for a long time because I was diagnosed with acute myelocytic leukemia. The nurse practitioner at the Planned Parenthood knew it, and that's why she was so persistent in me going. And without her persistence, I quite frankly wouldn't be here right now. I was immediately infused with 9 pints of blood. I was in dire condition, but you know, you're 20 and you do stuff. So anyway, I was admitted to the hospital, as I said. 2 or 3 days later, when I was in the hospital, this nurse practitioner came in, and I wish I could remember her name. And she came in and she said, "I just wanted to make sure you're okay and apologize for being so pesky." And all I could do was cry, because without her being so pesky, I wouldn't be here right now. Without her being so pesky, I wouldn't have had a very successful bone marrow transplant and have been on the earth for 25 years plus. I'm 53. I'm proud to say that because without that nurse practitioner, I wouldn't be able to obviously say that. So this is a story about how Planned Parenthood saves women. And I love telling this story because, well, number one, I love Planned Parenthood. But people, when I tell them my leukemia story, and I tell them that Planned Parenthood is responsible for saving my life, they look at me in awe, and they say, well, it couldn't be in Planned Parenthood. It is. And those are the kinds of situations that people don't realize that Planned Parenthood handle. It's not, they have their reputation for what they do and what they don't do. It's health care for women, and it's total health care, and it's follow through. And again, my angel nurse in Denver, I wouldn't be here without her. I wouldn't have known my 8 nieces and nephews without her. So again, I want to say that I think all people should be grateful there is a Planned Parenthood. I know I'm grateful. My nieces can use Planned Parenthood as they go through college, and they know the story about how Planned Parenthood saved my life. So please continue to support. Thank you.